Hello and welcome back to Factorio. I did, just to speed things along a little bit in the series, I did go ahead and build our copper plate system off camera. Basically, I just did what we did here, mirrored it, and did it over here. So we have the drills that feed the ore into the furnaces. The furnaces then spit that out with this long inserter onto the belt, and we have our coal here so that we don't have to feed it coal anymore manually. So one thing I did do also last time, most of you probably noticed that I put down 2 long inserters and then completely forgot to put down the rest. So I put down the rest of our long inserters, so now all of them are outputting steel plates, or not steel, iron plates here. Steel will be later. And basically now we can kind of start our main line, if you will, which is going to consist of these plates. And we just kind of run them up together, and then when we need something that involves mostly like iron plates, we'll put it on the right side of the factory, and things that involve mostly copper plates we'll put on the left side. And the more you get into the game, the more complicated the recipes get, and there'll be a lot of like intermingling and weaving and mixing with underground stuff and splitters and things. But for now, this kind of is a simple start, I would say. I think the place is lit up decently. We can probably put a light up here by our copper drills. And alright, so also off camera our electronics finished, which means that now we can do smart inserters, which I don't need yet because we don't have stuff for circuit network, but we can research automation 2, advanced electronics, and lab efficiency. So let's see what we want. Oh, we need to set up some turrets first. I think I'll do that before I start on the factory. Yeah, let's research something. So we can do assembly machine 2, and what that does is it lets you automatically create recipes that have 4 ingredients instead of just 2. The assembling machine lets you do 2 ingredients. So if you need something automated, like a I don't know if I have anything right now, like an offshore pump, I don't actually need that. Here, electric mining drill, I can't make in one of these because I need 3 and it only lets me do 2. We do need this fast stuff. Well, we don't really need it, but it'll be nice someday. Advanced electronics, smart chest, red. Oh, this is your circuit stuff. I haven't messed a lot with this, so maybe I'll try to get into that. Yeah, I'm not really sure how to do that well, actually. A lot of this is new or improved since the last time I played this. For now, let's just do... Again, we're kind of looking for things with with red only. So this needs 2 science packs 40 times. Okay. I guess that'd be fine. We're going to need that eventually. And all the other stuff can kind of wait. Lab efficiency, what does that do? Speed bonus of laboratories, that's really nice. But we need 100 greens, so no. When inserters are moving from one container to another, they can move more items at the same time. Inserters can pick up 1 more item, but we need greens, that's really good. Let's just do this, because they only need red, and we can definitely use that at some point. Again, I still have to automatically feed this thing plates. We'll fix that at some point. Let's do turrets. Why can't I see them? Oh, combat. Gun turret, iron gear wheel, and iron plates. Let's not do turrets quite yet. What we're going to do, I don't think we need to automate iron sticks. I don't think they really make anything except these axes. That could be different since the last time I played. So what we kind of need first is an automation for gear wheels and an automation for copper cable. Copper cable, copper plates. Yeah, a lot of this stuff needs like iron plates or iron gear wheels. So I think gear wheels are going to be our first. Look at all this stuff that needs iron plates. Copper cable. Alright, so let's set up our first little factory for gear wheels so we can actually see it in action. I think I'm going to do it. This is going to look kind of ridiculous, but I'm going to actually start our factory way up here, which might be problematic if we get attacked. It would be nice if this lake wasn't here. It'd be very different, but it is there. And there's water south of us, so we can't go south. Yeah, there's all this, so we can't really use this area. But basically, if I started gear wheels like here, we just wouldn't have room to expand. And it'd be a big problem putting out our conveyor belts with this water. Eventually, when we get robots doing everything, it won't be a big deal. But that's like way in the future. So let's start our factory here and hope that it doesn't... we'll hope it's not too disastrous. So I have transport belts. So let's put those down here so I can use them. Don't need that. Don't need... probably don't need this chest. Yeah, we have a few things we don't really need in our toolbar. We don't actually need our burner mining drills probably ever again, but... okay. Actually, we'll need those. So while I'm laying down conveyor belts, I can make inserters. So let's go ahead and grab some plates. And we have copper. We have enough copper. I could probably grab more of these. And let's just grab a bunch. Then I can at least keep making them. Yeah, once it gets to like its limit, then it stops producing. So I might as well. I actually probably need like twice as many of these, but we can do that some other time. Alright, so I'm going to start making inserters like mad while I extend this. Oh boy, okay. And then we do the same thing for our... actually, we don't need to go probably as far with our plates, because a lot of things need iron plates, but not a ton of things need copper plates. But a lot of things do need copper wire, if I remember. Or copper cable. Copper cable. Electronic circuits, which need copper cable. So we'll actually probably run our copper plates up to about here, and then do our copper cables here-ish. We can feed this coal if I have any, just because we might as well keep doing that. We'll use that eventually for like stone walls and stuff. Alright, so how do we make a little factory system? First, we will use a splitter. So let me cancel these. We should have enough for a while. I have 31. Yeah, 31 is going to be just fine. Alright, splitter, here we go. Split that. Actually, I'm going to go back just a little bit. We need a lot of room for this, this whole factory system. So we're going to split off our copper plates, or steel plates. That's just, basically this just runs through the whole thing. So we just keep extending that. And I do recommend, just so I'm not like trying to take all the credit, there is a YouTuber named Inzania, Inzainia maybe, Inzania. He has some really good Factorio videos, and I'm pretty sure this is the system he uses, maybe, which is where I learned it. I don't know, it's been a long time, but I know I watched him a lot to learn a lot of this stuff, so yeah, I will give him credit for much of my layout here. So thank you, Inzania, for that. Why am I running down here? No good reason. Alright, so now we need our assembling machines. I'll build 5. I've tried a factory once with only 2 to start with, and it was too slow for a while, so what I'll do is probably do like 4 assembly machines initially for about everything I do. Need a lot of wheels. It's going to be really nice when we get this done, because then anything we can just collect a lot of wheels and we don't have to do this part of the process every time. And there we go. So now we need to feed in... No, we're making steel, or we're making gear wheels, so we only need iron plates, so we just have to feed them in like this. Yeah, that's fine. 2 there. We have to separate them again for our electric wire, or electric pole, not telephone pole. And this, we don't need that last one. Now, simple as this, we just feed in our inserters, and they will spit out the gear wheel. There's a little bit of coal here. We don't need that, probably, hopefully, ever. If we do, well, hopefully we'll find some somewhere else. And we will do the same thing where we do the middle. We want them on both sides, basically. Like that. So they'll meet up and then go on either side of this. Do something like that. And, okay. 1, 2, that. Now I'm going to leave 2 spaces in here, and that is for underground belts later on. When we need to run stuff and intertwine, we use underground belts, and if we have only 1 space there, there's not enough room. So let's power this baby up, and that should be it. And eventually we'll get blueprints that can like kind of do this basic stuff for us, but until then I'll do it manually. But it's pretty, as we saw, it's a pretty quick system. I won't have to explain. I won't explain it every time, probably. I don't think there's probably a need or desire for that. And then we'll run up. Yeah, we'll do it on this side. Doesn't really matter. I should have been doing it already, but we'll run up a electric line right there. And again, I'm just holding the right mouse button and running, and it just automatically places them where they need to be. There we go. Now, oh yeah, don't forget to set your recipe. I do that a lot. You do have to select what you want it to build, which makes sense. The game can't read my mind. Someday, probably. Alright, so we insert, and there we go. There's our first little automation. And now what we do is we just keep running this up all the way through our factory, and when something needs gear wheels, we just split off, and it basically goes like this way, and on the other side it goes that way, and it just takes up a whole bunch of land, and we hope that we don't run into too many enemies who want to kill us dead. So now, what do we need for turrets? Gear wheels. Now what I can do is just pick up these gear wheels, and now I can build turrets really easily. They're still pretty slow to build, but I don't have to build all the gear wheels first. So I think it'll be smart to set up a few here. We do have to feed it ammo. We could also set up like a dedicated ammo line that feeds it ammo. I'm not going to do that. It takes a lot of time, and hopefully we'll get lasers soon. I think it's lasers that just feed off electricity and you don't have to feed ammo to. But for now, we'll give each one like 10 or 11 or 8, and that should be fine. I want a couple more. It probably won't stop a full-on attack, but it'll at least slow it down. Okay, so we could make 1 assembly machine just for ammo. Let's do that at least. So all I have to do, extend this line, put down 1 of these, electrify it, give it some iron, and then it'll output some ammo. That's probably worth it. Now, here's a cool thing you can do with chests. hopefully I remember how to do this. So we want it to store it in this chest. However, we don't want it to fill up the whole chest because that would waste a lot of iron. We don't need it all full, and all full. And I don't know how large magazines get, like how big a stack is. So you can limit this so that so basically now it only thinks it can fill up this one square. So once it's full, it won't fill up this square because I blocked it off. So we'll just do this to see how big a stack can be. So we'll come back to that later and let that automate, and we'll give this 10. So we have a little defense system. Next time we will work on getting some turrets on the east side and some turrets on the west side. We don't really need turrets on the south side because this lake will kind of protect us. If we put turrets here, like right here, that should cover this pretty well. Usually aliens will attack your electricity first, so we want to protect that. And yeah, so next time I'll build turrets off camera. We'll finish the defense system and work on our copper cables and just sort of keep getting things automated. And I need to remember not to neglect our lab. Actually, the best thing we could probably do next time is set up our automation of these. Since we have copper plates, we have wheels, that's what we'll do, is automate our science pack so we don't have to feed it ourselves anymore. So, hope you enjoyed. Hope you're enjoying Factorio. I think this game's really fun. It's a really cool take on the creating building system. If you enjoyed, a like and or subscribe is of course always appreciated. Otherwise, have yourselves a very nice day.